Oh, one more song?
Everybody, but I know
That wasn't something.
know this one.
Oh.
This one we have on paper. Yes.
This is our intergenerational lesson here.
This one, Roy. Go for it, Roy.
If I had a hand, gotta work, give it up, give it up.
That was the first time for this song, so just so you know, we're learning.
All right, well, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and open up any questions and answers for our youth here. Yeah, Bernice.
Not a question, but a statement. What this young lady here said about, being aggressive and everybody will see, are you registered to vote? Well, I practice that all the time. Everybody knows me. But we're settling in at the Democratic headquarters on Chester and Hudson. We're all set, ready to go, but we had to have the AT&T man come in there and, install stuff, and boy, I registered them right, Kevin's gone, but, anybody that comes in there, that's the first thing I do, and explain to them why, but, I even had the telephone man to register AT&T, so.
You can re-register, or if you're just getting of age to register, you're going to be 18 by November. We do have registration forms today. We can register you to vote. Get into that arena. Maria, we can also get you. And by the way, Bernice has been an activist here in the county for 50 years, so thank you so much, Bernice.
So, when I hear your guys' schedule, and when I just get a glimpse of all the work that you all are doing, it seems like a hardship. And I feel sorry for all those poor kids. They're working so hard, they're in the hot sun, they're going to sleep late, they're waking up early, and you're not in the nicest accommodations, right, for living at the moment. And so I just think about the sacrifice that you're making. And so I keep expecting over time to see, at some point it's going to get to them, and these bright, beautiful, smiling, cheery faces and positive attitude that I see is, like, at some point probably going to start fading, and it just hasn't. If anything, you've become more joyful and seem more enthusiastic as the summer goes on. So I just want to know if any of you can speak to, like, what is your secret and how do you besides you, but, really, so amazed.
The great teachers they have.
Well, I just want to say that, like every other human being on the planet, we all have the capacity to push ourselves. I think one of the things that has been really exciting about this is see how easy it is to, even when it's really early in the morning and you're just like pulling yourself out of bed, you just can put a smile on and you fake it till you make it. Right? And that's something that eventually your brain starts to get these wonderful cheek muscles. I think a lot of us have developed really strong cheek muscles, but that smiling is something that helps you be really awake, really attentive of where you're at and who you're with, and develop an understanding that you can lift somebody up with something as simple as a smile, with something as simple as eye contact, with our body language, opening up the door to somebody. And that takes discipline, and none of us started out like this. If you, come, just like anybody else, if you come in the morning, we all look really tired, but the only difference is that we're pushing each other to stand up, get up, because that's what we have to do, and that's the sort of expectation that everyone should have of each other. We can't afford to go easy on each other. I think that's what it is.
I'll get to you in 1 second.
From the other end of the spectrum, one of the older folks, because I too am sleeping on a gym floor and keeping that schedule and still smiling. I think one of the things that's really powerful about being in a group like this, and many of us have had these kind of group collective experiences, is that we really do get to practice the principles that many of us have read about, Cesar and Dr. King, certainly, each and every day. And a lot of times I think we tend to make those things kind of abstract and theoretical, but really at the moment of waking up in the morning or getting ready for a meal, it's a daily kind of thing. And so I love the fact that in this group they'll talk a lot about, well, how do we take on sacrifices? We're not going to start a fast, but we do know that things need to change in this country. So how can we make sacrifices each and every day? And one of those things is to smile when you don't feel like it. Try keeping a job that needs you to smile and not smiling. You're not going to keep that job very long. So we can do it for our pocketbook. Can we do it for a better America? Can we do it each and every day, especially when we don't feel like it or we're around people that make us frown? Like, give them some love. The smile is about what you give to others. One of the things they do is when it's time to eat, get in line, but if you're really hungry, get in the back of the line. And let those who aren't hungry go first, because sacrifice builds character. And it's like all day long, these young people are coming up with ways to sacrifice so that you're building your character. And I'm telling you, I have to run to keep up a lot. But it's a great gift, and it's been a great joy. And I agree with someone that said, Roy has integrated in our curriculum a lot of the principles of nonviolence. And so we study it, and then we practice it like on a daily basis. But the great question.
My name's Jill, and I'm with United Way of Kern County, and I work with Yosemite. That's why I do this. And my question is two parts. The first is, who is the youngest person up there? And then for how many of you is this the longest time you've ever been away from home?
Hi, I'm Helden, and I am 13 years old. Well, this experience has taught me a lot, and it's especially taught all of the people here standing next to me. Like what some of us said, it builds character, and so like we go around houses asking if they are registered or would like to be registered, and so all of us are helping, sacrificing our time instead of playing video games, watching TV, doing Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and etc. And so this is a really good experience for people to build character. Thank you.
Is this the longest time you've been away from home?
Yes.
For how many of you, just raise your hand, I'd like to see, for how many of you is this the longest time you've been away from home? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. My name is Alfonso, by the way, and I'm with the Popular newspaper, the only Spanish newspaper in the county. And what I want to ask any one of you is, knowing of this experience, how personal it is to most of you, what are you taking back to your community? And how do you plan to practice?
So this experience has taught us a lot. And I think the thing that I'll take back is I go to a school called Western Washington University. It's up in Bellingham, Washington, and it's a school that's predominantly white. It's a school that really cares a lot about the environment, and they really advocate for the environment. They care a lot about LGBTQ issues, and they really advocate for that. But for some reason, when we start to talk about race, people start to get like uncomfortable, and people start to kind of like tense up. So I think the experience that I've had here really taught me how to use my voice and how to be able to move forward in spite of difficult situation. One of the things that we study about Dr. King is that courage is not the lack of fear. If you're courageous, it doesn't mean that fear isn't there. It means that we're able to move forward in spite of difficult situations. And I think that's the biggest thing that it taught me. Being out here and working with the people and talking to people and having these conversations, I think really inspired me to keep moving forward. That all the things that I've learned from here, I can take back to me, also into my community. And the changes that I want to see at my schools and the changes I want to see where I live, it's stuff that I feel like even if I have fear, I'm still able to push through it. So I think that's one of the things that I learned.
Can someone address this question or answer this question who hasn't spoken yet? Volunteers, brave volunteers.
Go ahead, Angela. I'm gonna put right up here. Bay Area.
Hi, my name is Angela, and I think one of the things I can take back from this trip especially is gaining that sense of community and make sure that I bring it back to my community because I come from a really urban area. I come from Oakland, and you can see your neighbor every day and not know who they are for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then just going out, reaching out, and just going across the street to find out what my neighbor's name is, and going down the street and find out what my neighbor's name is, going to the local parks and organizing community events. And if we don't do that, no one's going to do it for us. And so in learning that here, it's really important that we do gain community and that we do know our sisters and brothers that are down the street from us. Thank you.
Before moving on to the next question, let's hear from one more brave soul on this thing to answer this question. You wanna go for it?
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I'm from the Washington State area, and I've learned a lot in this trip, in this month, and I really like, the leadership skills that this place has brought me. Bakersfield is just like an active place where you can learn a lot, and I like to take what I've learned back to my school and my community, because it's just, there's people uneducated, and I would like to educate them on voting, leadership stuff, and in general, like ways to bond together as human beings.
Okay, any more questions? Yeah, sure.
I teach at Lane Elementary School. I've been doing it for 20 years. I look at the faces there. I see the faces of some of the kids. They look like the kids that I taught. And I have to tell you guys, I'm so proud of you guys. I see you guys growing up. I see you guys very, very good people, very good citizens. I'm so proud of all of you guys. These are the faces I see in my classroom. And I'm just so proud to see you guys doing the things you guys do. I'm so proud of you.
I have a question for Roy. So Roy, I've been, it's just really impressive to see, the discipline that this group has, the motivation that they have. And I was wondering if you can kind of give us a sense of how it is you go about, selecting these youth for these trips every year, and how it is that, you go about keeping them motivated in this way.
Well, thanks, Joe, for the question. The fallacy that we seem to create in our images is we see it in a question: where did you find those kids? And we found them the same way everybody finds all kids, in a state of confusion, in a state of pain, and in a state of wanting their dreams and dreams for the community to come true. We work throughout the school year in public schools, and most of the students we integrate are nominated by a school administration. We don't work in schools if we don't have some tight bond with schools. Now, most schools that we work with are interested in our ability to create calmness and community in a school, to be able to deal with interracial harmony and building interracial communications, and of course, there are the strict mandates that everyone knows about, is to shrink the academic gap. Our program is really good at that because there are students up here who are here because they are assigned summer school classes, and we have a relationship with that particular school district where this work can be can replace summer school. So it's very important to know, and just to be frank, so we're not, we're all trained, it doesn't hurt our feelings at all, but our requirement from a school is that they be representative of the population of that school, and that while we don't shun leadership students, we actually ask the administrators to find what we call emergent leaders. Those who, if they took a turn in the school, 2 or more students would follow them. Anyone with a thirst for justice, that's the phrase we use with administrators, who want to or are confronting racism, consumerism, and the meaninglessness of consumerism, and war and violence would be great candidates. Those are the words we use with administrators. And so clearly in American schools, and it's for sure where we work, in the state of Washington and California, those students are almost always students of color. Now, that part about a thirst for justice, there are other white students that have a thirst for justice as well. There are some 2 student body presidents up here on the stage. There are several 4.0 students up here, but there are some students below a D average up here. That unity that we create in the school district is unheard of. In other words, the way others try to solve problems is to put a homogeneous spin on it. So if you're in student leadership, you go to student leadership conferences, you study Robert's Rules of Order, and you put on the assemblies and the proms. That's fine, we're not knocking that. But the same students that have to work after school, or have to get up early and work, or have to get home to take care of the kids, who have to lose credit and have credit retrieval programs. So my sister Albertina, going to be a lawyer, she's a year behind because she knows how to do a family movement, take care of siblings and whatnot. The schools can't adjust to that. They should, but they don't. So we get our students that way. We come in and do a class and ask them the very simple question: would you like to be a warrior for justice to confront racism, meaninglessness, and war and violence? Raise your hand. If they raise their hand, within 48 hours we do a home visit. It's very important that a mother, a grandmother, a guardian, yes, fathers, but let's be frank, of the students up here, we have a lot of AWOL fathers. We talk about that. We talk about that a lot. And because we cannot have any more AWOL citizens, male, female, of any age. We need to be on task. If a mother isn't into it, grandmother isn't into it, welcome, but we don't focus much energy because there's nothing, we're an army, a nonviolent army, and we don't have the staff, the money to invest in a soul, 13, 14, 15-year-old soul, and there's a big program in the winter. We're on the 26th of December. It's long. I'm trying to break it down. On the 26th of December through the 1st of January every year, we do a week-long residential program called The Life and Legacy of Dr. King. It follows the same format we use on Juanita in the summer. We're on, it's a little more controlled because we're embedded in the Peralta district in Oakland, so we're on the floor of the gymnasium at Merritt College. And it's a little easier because it's ours, and we can well, if we mess it, it's kind of our issue to clean it up. But the point there is we get kids from Washington State and kids from Oakland, but they have to live with us 24/7 to study Dr. King. What the schools like about that is they can make a 45-minute speech about Dr. King at the end of those 7 days. The myths that we break down, there's hundreds of them, but one is that how could you give up your holidays? Well, the myth is most families know that after the 25th, the kids are on their own and they're lost. And they don't have a chance to make themselves be of use. All those students that come on those kind of arduous, we call them anchors, excel. And then when they go back to school, it's nothing more empowering to be a student with the same demographics that Gerald has, same demographics I have. 2 out of 7 siblings graduate from high school the first out of entire extended family of 54 cousins to go to college. There's students right up here in the same demographic come back to their 1,800 person high school, and on the Dr. King week, do the Dr. King Assembly speech, changes the school, because that has never happened before. They're used to the ASB president or somebody like that making a speech. So it's designed to create a sense of tension, a sense of conflict, where in the just doing of it, there is a growth. I want to address one more part of that. We do, Jorge, we do on traditional Thanksgiving Day, we do a 4-day residential program at an indigenous, native nation, where one day is committed to solving and deconstructing the racism in the so-called traditional Thanksgiving Day. But the other day are committed to studying gratitude and developing a true sense of gratitude. And again, we get that, well, it's the holidays, and we remind them of Black Friday. What kind of holiday is that? And to keep our students from being in a mall, at least in the urban areas, I'm not exaggerating, if you go to a mall on Black Friday, you could get hurt. And it's actually, and so nonviolence. Gandhi and King say this about nonviolence. There's nothing different between an army of nonviolence and an army of violence. They all take the spirit at core, teamwork, sacrifice, the capacity to build teams, the capacity to give your life up for a comrade, study, and to develop the positive capacity to gain from sacrifice builds character. Now, here's the difference. An army of violence puts on the opponent the necessity to change. Submit yourself. I want your land. Submit yourself. I want your oil. Submit yourself. I don't want you in school. Submit yourself. Go to prison. An army of nonviolence captures the responsibility of changing ourselves so that we submit ourselves to the sacrifice, to the lifestyle, to developing the capacity to stop the hate, stop the violence, stop the meaninglessness, and emulate such a Chavez, Dolores Huerta, Dr. King, Sojourner Truth, and tens of thousands of anonymous soldiers for freedom. So that's how it works.
We're coming to the end of our event here, and let's give another hand to the MLK youth here. Sorry? You want to make a statement?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I am so very proud of that each one of you. And I know there's a few of you that I haven't met yet because they're new to the program. And but I know that you are our future. You're our future advocates, future lawyers, future city council men and women. I can tell because I got to know you a little bit, and you have a good head on your shoulders. And on top of that, I made a promise that I know all your names. As a matter of fact, Angela, it was very nice to meet you. Melina, it was so nice to meet you. And I know that you two are new to the program, so I'll get to meet you. Jacob, so very nice to meet you. Paola, very nice to meet you. Brandon, Andres, both of you, nice to meet you. Octavio, very nice to meet you. Myra, it was a pleasure. And Albertina, very nice to meet you. Jose and Gerline, it was a pleasure to meet you. And Karen, very nice. Martha, it was a pleasure. Rebecca, it was a pleasure. And I know that you're new to the program. And Ashlyn, it was so nice to meet you. Heldon, I got to meet you the other day, so. And of course, Karen and Roy, oh, I commend you. This is so awesome, so awesome. I mean, it is so awesome of a program that I told my husband the other day, what if I were to intern in Oakland for a year? No, for some time. And he said, you mean for a day? No, I'm a year. But anyway,
Jorge wants to say something, but I think Bernice, go ahead.
No,
You go
I
first.
just wanted to see if Dr. Gonzalez would, because since he's a school board member in Bakersfield, a trustee, very dedicated to education, what he thought of this and how it could relate to Bakersfield. I put you in the spot, but
I just want to say that it's tremendously impressive. 13-year-olds, young kids your age, expressing yourselves like adults in the world. I mean, you're doing tremendous work, and it means something to you. And you let it be known that it means something to you by sharing it with us. I mean, you have to look a long way and find kids your age with the kind of dedication and the experience that you've had, able to express themselves about nonviolence, about Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, Dolores. You're getting an education here that at the university level I would never be able to give you. You're getting something that's tremendous here.